Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be discussing my top 5 biggest songwriting mistakes. Let's get into it. Mistake number 1, the song has way too many words per line. Sometimes I don't write melody first and I'll just start writing just things that I'm thinking and just writing these long paragraphs, and I'm like, you know what, I'll chop this up, stick it where it needs to go and kind of play with it. But I feel like if you don't do that, and I have heard some songs where I feel like people just don't do that, to me it makes the song sound really chunky and too wordy. It can lead to your song sounding very amateurish, and that is something that we 1000% want to avoid. So yeah, stop doing that. Mistake number 2, the hook doesn't stand out. Y'all, this is the worst. This is the worst thing ever. I feel like if you mess up a hook, there's no saving the song. Like, you can't turn back. Like, it's over with. It's dead. Start over, you know? The hook is the most important part of the song. I'm sure there will be people that could possibly argue that. I personally believe that if you mess up the hook, the song's pretty much dead. We want to make sure that our hook stands out, and I feel like the best way to practice writing really good hooks is to listen to really good hooks. It's simple as that. Listen to some of your favorite songs. Like, try to examine it. Why is this my favorite song? What are some elements of this song that make it catchy to me, that make it enjoyable to me? Mistake number 3, neglecting the importance of melody. So we know that age-old debate of what's more important when it comes to songwriting, lyrics or melody. Honestly, I feel like it's like a 49-50, and I think melody takes the edge. I do, because there's always those songs that are not written the best. Like, lyrically it's not really challenging, or lyrically it's very simple, or it's like, oh, lyrically they didn't even really try. But that melody though, that melody is fire. There's so many songs that we could probably name that are like that. You know, there's not too many like hit songs that neglect melody, or the melody can just be, it's not really giving, and still be a hit. I feel like that's more rare. I love discovering new artists that are not within the genres that I just normally listen to, because sometimes people do some really interesting things in melody that you won't hear it in pop music, or you won't hear it in R&B sometimes. Sometimes you have to venture out into rock or alternative or indie music. A lot of them are more experimental. But as an artist, you can learn from that, and you can kind of take certain things with you and like stick it in your back pocket. Our brains are computers, and we can store pretty much whatever we want in it. Just soaking in as much music as you possibly can is key. Mistake number 4 is not having a unique perspective. The most common subjects that people write about in music is going to be love, relationships, heartbreak, friendship, loss, because these subjects are pretty universal. It doesn't matter what gender you are, what race you are, what country you live in. You've probably experienced those things at some point in your life. Music wasn't invented yesterday, so these things have been talked about for decades upon decades. So the question is, what are you bringing to the table? Because what we can't do is talk about the same things in the same way that everybody has talked about it. So you have to bring a new perspective into the art of songwriting. And being able to do that is what makes a songwriter go from good to great. Everybody talks about love. How are you going to talk about love any different than any other artist that's talking about it, that's singing about it? How are you going to write this in a way that no one else has? That's the art of songwriting. Tip number 5 is ignoring feedback. A lot of us who love to write by ourselves because we find it cathartic. We just love doing it alone. I'm one of those people. We're just writing and we're only taking in our own opinions and our own biases for our music and what we write. And I just feel like not seeking feedback or not taking it, just completely ignoring it, is a huge mistake that songwriters make, because ultimately we are creating, music that we love, and we are doing it for us, but we're also releasing it out into the world, which means that we're hoping that other people can relate and that it resonates with, an audience. Getting some feedback from, your friends, your family, your peers, other producers, other songwriters, just people that, have an ear for music. Like, seeking that consultation and advice is important for songwriters, because ultimately we want to be able to grow and we want to be able to evolve in our craft. And there's always ways that we can improve when we are writing songs. So I think it's important to always be a student. And those are my 5 biggest songwriting mistakes. So I hope you guys learned something from this. If you did, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Comment below with some mistakes that you feel that songwriters make, or some that you've made on your own. If you're into all things songwriting and music, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because this is the channel for you. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.